Okay, friends. So today we are going to discuss on the Bharti Airtel results, which were declared just today. Yeah, it's quite interesting information by on dips. Okay, the results were really nice on every perspective, revenues, profits. Yeah, the numbers look very good. Yeah, there is no doubt in that. When you compare it quarter on quarter or you compare it year on year, it's quite good. Although it is showing loss, but when you compare with the earlier results or yeah, the results before few quarters and all, it is doing quite interesting, quite good. The loss is narrowing. The loss is only basically because of this AGR issue which happened, and they had to block the amount, some amount for that particular dues. Yeah. Okay. So let's go into the detailed analysis of the results. This is just a slide showing. Okay, now let's discuss on the brief introduction about the company. It is headquartered in India. It's a global telecommunications company with operations in 18 countries across South Asia and Africa. Yeah, it is ranked amongst the top three mobile operators globally. Its mobile network covers a population of 2 billion people. That's a big one. Yeah, that's a huge one. Okay, that's the positive sign. Yeah, and it's the largest integrated telecom provider in India and the second largest mobile operator in Africa. So it has got good position in Africa as well. At the end of September 2020, Airtel has approximately 440 million customers across its operations. So that's a very nice sign. Yeah. Okay. Now talking on the portfolio of Airtel, it includes a high-speed 4G, 4.5G mobile broadband, Airtel Extreme Fiber that promises up to 1 Gbps gigabyte per second. Yeah, coverage digital TV solutions through Airtel Extreme 4K hybrid box, digital payments through Airtel Payment Banks, as well as integrate suite of several across connectivity, collaboration, cloud, and security that serves over 1 million businesses. That's a very nice and interesting information. Airtel OTT services include Airtel Thanks app for self-care, Airtel Extreme app for videos, Wink Music for entertainment, Airtel Blue Jeans for video conferencing. Man, it has got a lot of businesses almost into every sector. In addition, Airtel has forged strategic partnership with hundreds of companies across the world to enable Airtel platform to deliver an array of consumer enterprise services. So this is a solid company with a solid business prospects. It looks very good. The only thing, it has a lot of depth on its balance sheet, which company has to think about and come out of some solution either by selling the stake or something like that, which reduces the depth. And the same way the Reliance did it, they need to brainstorm something and come out of something out of the box thinking which can reduce the depth basically. Once that is done, you will not find the stock at this prices. It is going to zoom for sure. It will be at quite higher prices, that's for sure. This is the financial results declared recently. Okay, that is September 2020. Okay, quarter ended September 2020. Now, if you talk about the total revenues, it is 25,785 crores. Yeah, EBITDA is 11,848 crores. Now, EBITDA to total revenue is 46%. Earlier quarter it was 42%. EBIT is around 4,412 crores. Yeah. Profit before tax was quite good, 567 crores. Then the net income is in negative, that is 763 crores. That is because of the tax, I believe. Yeah. Something, yeah, tax has come in. That is the reason the profits have gone to negative. That is 763 crores. Okay. So if you see, the revenues have jumped year on year by 22%. EBITDA has jumped 32%. EBIT has jumped by 121%. Profit before tax has jumped 191%. Yeah. So that's a very good sign. Okay. Even on a 6 months period, yani September 20th, September 19, year on year, 6 months period, it has shown growth of 19% on the revenue, EBITDA 29%. So things are profit after tax is around 40%. Yeah, although they are showing losses, but it's a drastic reduction in losses. Yeah, So that looks good on quarter as well as year on year basis. The stock is underperforming due to the AGR issues. Now the AGR issue verdict has come. They have got some liabilities which they need to pass it on to the government, which they need to give it back to the government so that things are sorted out on that front. Business perspective, they are doing exceptionally well. Yeah, and the ARPU has increased to 162. That is a very good sign. ARPU is basically average revenue per user. Yeah. Okay, so they are doing perfectly fine on that. It is increasing. Business is looking quite good. Results are delivering. The only hassle was there was an uncertainty on the AGR dues. That also worked. It has come down. So things are getting clear from every prospect. The only thing is stock is going down. We don't know the current reason why it is going down. Results are good so far. So let us see after the results how the stock behaves. Yeah. And overall, if you see the business perspective, the stock looks quite good. It is delivering on the result front. Balance sheet is improving. The only concern is on the net debt, which they need to work out on, and they have to come out with some solutions. Once the debt is reduced, you will not find the stock at this valuations or that this price. It is going to zoom upwards. It will be done in a very fast way. Okay, this is the performance at a glance. Basically, it is if you see quarter ended also, if you see full year ended also. Okay, the customer base has increased. Okay, now if you see September 19 highlighted one, yeah, and the September 20th, so customer base has increased, total minutes on network has increased. Yeah, if you see September 19 and if you see September 20th, so they are doing good overall. Yeah, on infrastructure as well, they have done good network towers, so that is also increased. This September 19, this is September 20th. Yeah, even on a year on year basis also things are looking quite good. Profit before tax, okay, this was loss of 6,231. I believe this is in million rupees. Yeah. Okay, the net debt, it is in million rupees. Yeah, the net debt here is a concern because that depth is increasing. See, if you see here, it's increasing. Yeah, even on quarter, if you see like this, and now it has had a sharp jump. Yeah. Okay, so that is a concern right here. The rest things look quite good. And the net here they have given that the net debt for Q2 21 includes the impact of AGR judgment by the Honorable Supreme Court. So they have net debt in this numbers. They have considered the verdict impact, AGR verdict impact. So things are clear on AGR front now. Now only they need to brainstorm them and then to look into opportunities where they can reduce the debt. Yeah, and grow their business. Business is growing, it will grow a little bit increase in prices of the mobile services which they're providing will have a huge jump in the profitability. So this is the highlight for the Q2 FY21. Yeah, it exposed the highest ever consolidated quarterly revenues. Revenues are highest. Okay, India business delivers good growth across revenues, margin, customers. That is what I said in my earlier slides. Considered quarterly revenues at 25,785 crores, up 22% year on year. This also we discussed. EBITDA is at around 11,848 crores. EBITDA margins at 46 crores, 46%. Yeah, improvement of 366 basis points year on year. EBITDA margin at 17.1%, improvement of 768 basis points year on year. India revenues at 18,747 crores, up 22%, led by 4G customer momentum and up trading. Yeah. Mobile services India revenues grew up by 26% year on year. Everything's good, fantastic. There's no doubt in it. There's a competitor here, which is a white elephant, Reliance Jio. Still, they're competing very nicely as far as India business is concerned. Yeah. Mobile ARPU has increased, average revenue per user. Yeah. So this is one of the best signs. Yeah. Okay, in Q2 2020 from 128 to 162. This is a comparison with Q2 2020. Yeah. So it is a fantastic ARPU number. If you ask me, then this is the logic to buy this stock over a longer period of time. ARPU increasing, revenue increasing, profitability increasing. That's very nice. 4G data customers are up by 14 million for the quarter. Yeah, And usage metrics, data usage per sub at 16 GB per month. Yeah, so that is also increasing. Airtel Business Homes business, Airtel Business and Homes sees revenue growth of 7.5 and 7.3% year on year. That is good. DTH business added, I think, 5,49,000 customers during the quarter. That's good. Base increases from 16.8 million in Q1 21 to 17.4 million in Q2 21. That's very nice. Digital services now among the strongest in the country. 160 million digitally engaged customers enables customers and business to remain connected during COVID. So during COVID also they had the connections on. The network is good. If you see the feedbacks from the users, that's quite good. So this is a brief highlight. It is a fantastic quarter for them. Okay, I always want to make videos short, but whenever I go to make this videos, I get a lot of information which are really important to be put in the slide. That is the reason why the video becomes a big one. Yeah. So this is a beautiful information which most of the guys are not capturing. Yeah. Means this is the details of the subsidiaries which they have. Yeah. And they have around 123 110 subsidiaries. Can you believe it? Yeah. Bharti Infratel, Bharti Hexacom Limited, Bharti Telemedia, Telecom Networks Limited, Bharti Airtel Services Limited, next you name it, and they have got a business. Airtel Africa Mauritius Limited. There are so many subsidiaries. Yeah. Airtel Money Trust, Airtel Money SA, Airtel Money Mali Holdings. So many businesses have got as part of their subsidiaries, and the joint ventures are also listed here. This information is quite important, very interesting information which you don't get it everywhere. Yeah. So this shows the strength of the company, overall strength of the company. Okay. These are the businesses which they have. Yeah. In India and South Asia. South Asia is basically Sri Lanka. Yeah. Mobile services, home services, digital TV services, Airtel businesses, tower infrastructure services, South Asia, Africa. They have partnered with Singtel, strategic equity partner, as one of their largest investment of outside Singapore. Okay, okay, with us. Okay, this they've got Singtel as a partner, and Singtel has invested a lot in them. They are the largest investment if they consider outside Singapore. Yeah. And they have strategic partners include Ericsson, Nokia, Siemens, Huawei, Cisco, IBM, Avia, ZTE. So they have got good, strong partners, global partners. Yeah. On the business of Africa, India, B2B, B2C, we'll discuss in the next slides. This is the segment-wide summarized statement of operations. Yeah. India and South Asia. South Asia is basically Sri Lanka. Total revenues increased 22%, EBITDA increased 36%. Everything is looking good. India business is growing. Total revenue is up 22%. EBITDA is up 36%. But total revenue is up 36%. On a 6 months period, also things are looking good. Year on year, 18% growth on revenues. Okay. India business also is growing at 18%. EBITDA is growing 32%. So that's a good sign. This is the B2C business. They have got mobile services. They offer postpaid, prepaid, roaming, internet, all this value-added services, and they have got our distribution channels is spread around 1.6 million outlets with a network presence in 7,907 census and 7,90,450 non-census towns and villages in India, covering approximately 95.4% of country's population. That's a very good coverage they have. Our 3G and 4G services across the country, high-speed internet, host of innovative services like mobile TV, video calls, live streaming videos, gaming, bufferless aesthetic videos. Our national long-distance infrastructure was a pan-India reach of 310,000 and 289 around radius kilometers of optical fiber. So this is a big network. This is not built in a day. This is built in a 10 years, 15 years journey. Now on the mobile front also, they have got a good business. Okay, total revenues have increased on quarter of 26%. Year on year, I believe, yeah. Year on believe 26% from September 19 to September 20th. EBITDA has increased by 48%. Even on the 6 month front, it has grown by revenues have grown by 22%, EBITDA at 41%. Things are looking quite good. Okay, on the mobile services front, this I have done segregation of the businesses which they have with the revenue generated and how they are managing their business on specific like mobile services. Then comes the home services. Okay, now home services, the company provides fixed line telephones, broadband services for homes in 145 cities pan India. Okay, the product offering high speed broadband on copper and fiber and voice connectivity at a speed of 1 gigabytes per second. Yeah, for the home spec. And there also they have, if you see, the revenues has grown by 7%, EBITDA has grown by 39%. Things are looking quite good. Means they are increasing the revenues on every business prospect. Earlier we discussed about mobile services, now we discussed about home services. Now the next slide is on digital TV services, that is direct to home DTH platforms. Yeah, so they are increasing the revenues. If you oh, okay, here there is year on year there's a dip in revenue by minus 4%. Okay, this is the area where they have a bit of like not growth, but it is at those levels itself, a minus 4% growth on the revenues and a bit of minus 5%. Okay, this also should do well over the long period of time. This is the Airtel business, okay, wherein they are the India's leading and most trusted provider ICT services, that has portfolio of services to enterprises, governments, carriers, small and medium businesses. Okay, VoIP, SIP, trucking, stuffs like that. There also Airtel business has grown. Revenues have grown by 8%, EBITDA by 42%. If you see, okay, and this is the total tower infrastructure business. And the subsidiary Bharti Infratel is a leading provider of tower and related infrastructure. It deploys and owns and manages telecom towers, communication structures for various mobile operators. It holds 42% equity in Indus Towers, a joint venture between with the Vodafone Group. Okay, Vodafone, Idea, and Providence, who hold 42, 11 respectively. So that is how the equity distribution is on. Yeah. Total revenues have increased on the tower business also at 6%, EBITDA is at around 0%. Year on year, there's the EBITDA there's a degrowth of minus 7%. On this area, they need to improve. Yeah, there's South Asia business, where South Asia represents our operations in Sri Lanka. As I told you before, we operate across 25 administrative districts with a distribution network of 53K retailers across the country. Our 3.5G services are present across major towns in Sri Lanka. Okay, there they have total revenue has grown by 1%. EBITDA has grown by 36, that's 37%. That's a good sign. Africa business, they have got an Airtel Africa PLC is present in 14 countries of Africa, namely Nigeria, Chad, Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, Gabon, Madagascar, Nigeria, Kenya, Malawi, Seychelles, Tanzania, Uganda, Zambia, and Rwanda. So these are the places where they are different countries where they are providing 3G as well as 4G services. Yeah, mobile money. We offer 3G services, mobile money across 14 countries. 4G services 14 countries. Airtel Africa PLC is listed on London Stock Exchange and Nigeria Stock Exchange. Okay, there also revenue has increased by 20%, EBITDA has increased by 24%. So they are doing good in Africa as well. Okay, the overall consideration after seeing these numbers is quite good. I'm very positive. Okay, on the results as well as on the stock as well as on the business of the company. They're growing on all fronts. They've got a lot of businesses, very interesting businesses. They're delivering on all fronts. Revenues are increasing, EBITDA is increasing. Hopefully, once their depth is reduced on profitability front, also they can do wonders. They can do very good. The other thing is if they increase the prices of the mobile services which they are providing, it is going to have a huge impact on the balance sheet. Not only revenues, but the profitability will increase drastically, and I'm 100% sure of that. Yeah. Okay, because they have got around 2 billion users all around the world. Okay, so results are very good on all fronts, but not sure how the investors take it on the short term basis and how the stock reacts to the numbers. But then over a longer period of time frame, it should do very well unless something negative comes out of the box on the business front or on the management perspective. The only concern is the net depth of the company, which is rising consistently, and company has to do something on that front. That is the only concern here. That is the reason the stock is going down. Earlier it was going down because of the AGR decision had not come out. Now the AGR decision has come out, although it is not in favor of Bharati Airtel, but there is a clear pathway to walk on. Yeah, so this should bring in positive news for the company going up and going in future, because they know what the outcome has been, how much they need to pay, yeah, to the government. Okay, the things are clear on the AGR issue, and now they can concentrate only on business, how to grow the business, how to make it profitable. Yeah, okay. The overall results are good. Hold the stock if anyone has bought it recently. Even one can buy a fresh. If nobody has bought it, they can buy it afresh and can average on dips of more than 5% in a staggered way, considering only 5% allocation for a stock for long-term time frame of approximately 3 to 5 years perspective. Okay, for me, this is a strong buy, very strong buy on every 10% dips, rock solid business, good management, indeed a very good long-term story. Yeah? Okay, friends, I did a lot of homework to get to basic. I just wanted to make a short video, but when I started galloping information, I kept on going and I found a lot of good information worth sharing with you guys. So that is the reason I made this video a big one. Then yeah, I didn't have choice. Yeah. Disclaimer: this is a purely for educational purpose, not a stock recommendation. Everyone should do the due diligence before investing. This is my personal view. Everyone should take a decision on any stock I talk about by doing their own independent research. Views are based on current scenario the company is placed in currently. I'm merely sharing my opinion with no guarantee of gains or losses of any investment, and I'm not a SEBI registered advisor or an analyst. Yeah. There is a lot of hard work going on this kind of videos. Hope you like it. If you have any comments, please put it in the comment box. Thank you, friends.